Hello, hello, happy Saturday morning. Grabbing my chair. I really don't know why I don't grab my chair when we start. I am heading out of town this weekend, and I have got to take some crafts with me. So I wanted to do some prototypes for some mask making. As much as I'd love to take my entire desk, that's not feasible. So let's make some different mask make idea prototypes, and then I will know what to pack up and take with me. So I'm going to do a couple of different things. I'm not sure how much time we'll have to do, how many. So we're just going to go for it and see what we end up with. First thing that I want to start with is the faux whale tail, our whale tail hack, but I want to make some policy closures that use these. And I saw these on, which one was this? Tracy Fox. So I'll link their channels. There's a couple different people. I'll link their channels in the description below. So definitely check those out. The closures, the faux bits, that's us trying to figure out how to make some things that we don't have the supplies for. We're faking it, guys. We're faking it. So I am going to start out with some paper here, and this is just the cover of a paper pack, and very cool. On the inside they have the just a little collage piece. Now, will this be big enough? I hope so, because I cut it at this point. We might have to fold this in half. This is thick paper, so we're gonna get our folder here. Oh yes, and look at that. I thought ahead at some point. Oh, come on. Are you serious? I hope this isn't an indication of what our day's gonna look like. Oh, this is perfect. Look at that. So there's our mark at 2 3/4, and our fold for whale tail at what do we got there? 1 3/8. Yes, 2. Yeah, 3/8. 1 3/8. Okay, so we're going to fold that. We're going to cut this off because we're going to use this piece here. So let's go ahead and cut that even. All right, now, if we recall, I made a mark here in our big, technically 2-inch, but really it's actually, I guess labeled 2-inch, but it's really a little shorter than that. One of the complaints with this particular, am I straight? Pretty straight. All right, let's punch this. And I found that, whoa. Now we gotta find it. Oh, here it is. Ooh. It was almost dangerous. With this thicker paper, I found if you kind of work it just a little bit, instead of just trying to straight down, if you kind of go one of these, it gets it through. Okay, so then the other piece, the other thing we need is this little 1-inch, and you're wanting to go about 1/4 of the way through it. So I just put a couple of little marks on there. I don't know if you can see that, to help guide me. And they don't have to be perfect, but about 1/4. And we're going to do the other side here. I'll give it a little, there we go. And there is our faux whale tail. All right, so we got that. Now we need, for the second part of our closure, we're done with this. Let's get that out of the way. I did pick up this little, oh gosh, I just had the packaging. Let me check. It is the 0.625. Oh my gosh, so what is that? Not 3/4. Oh my God, you guys, it is too early in the morning on a Saturday to be doing conversions from decimals to fractions. Cheers, coffee. Okay, 0.625. Y'all can do your math. Oh, this one just has the little slidey thing. I like them better when they flip, but that's okay. So we got our little one here. We need to have, oh wait, for the love. What we need is our 1 inch, not the little bitty. Let's see if we can manage this. Do we have enough? Do we have enough? Oh, we do. Okay. Whoa, this is gonna be tricky. Sometimes it's easier to not try to be so precise. Just get in there, guy. Okay, that's pretty cool. We'll use that. Just one on here, one thickness, so it's better. All right, so now we've got our whale tail and we've got the backing for our policy type closer. So it's gonna go like this. Now, we need a couple of little ones to put our brads in. So let's find something that is thick-ish, but will have enough contrast that it will show up. I mean, we could go with something as simple as black. It's kind of darker than we want, though. Let's see, what do we got here? You can tell I sat down and said, oh, we got to get something done before we go out of town. That's kind of pretty. Let's go with this. See if this little fellow will get through that okay. So we're going to need 2. Oh, man. He made it. He didn't want to. Oh, but he did. That one was better. Okay, so we've got a couple. Let's get them out of here. A couple little circles. And what we're going to do is we're going to use these like this as the base of for putting in our brads. Okay, so let's get our foam so that we can poke our holes. I got my little pokey tool. We're going to center that, and it doesn't have to be perfect. We're gonna eyeball it pretty close. I'm sure you could mark it. You could have if you're gonna make a bunch of these, you could definitely do a template. Oops. I'm a little excited there. Now, I want the postcard to be on the front. So let's get that about, how's that look? Maybe when it's closed, we can see a little better. Okay, so just a little bit to the side of the S. Maybe there. I think that's about where we were. We're gonna eyeball the middle. Eyeball means not precise. Amber, pay attention. Or stop trying to pay so much attention, I guess. All right, so there are our holes. Now, before we get too far, I want to ink these up. Here's my brown. I don't think I want to go, well, hey, why not? We've got some scorched timber on here. So let's just go ahead and use that. Don't need a whole ton. But let's ink that. And might need a little more than that. This is from a couple of days ago. Don't be stingy now. I got a whole thing here. Right there. That's better. Let's get this guy. And this one. I wanted to test these little projects out before I packed up my stuff and took it with me. I don't want to get where I'm going and not have enough projects that I think are fun. All right, so we're going to grab a couple of brads. How about we don't use the rose gold a whole lot. How about we go with some rose gold? These are teeny tiny ones. I've got several different sizes, a couple of different things, and I got some new, oh, I don't even know where I set up, guys. My desk is an absolute disaster. All right, so let's go. Oh, I need to do this one at a time. Let's go there. We're gonna go through this whole, ooh, pretty. I like it. All right, let's put that down. Doesn't need to be super tight. Oh, I might have got it a little too tight. Let's see. Probably, there we go. All right, and then I'm gonna do the same on here. And the nice thing about this, you don't, come on fingers. You don't have to worry about taping your brads or anything because this is gonna be glued down. Come on, too tight. And then this is what your closure is gonna look like. And I mean, how cute, right? You put, oh, well, I don't even have any string close by. That's okay. Oh, yes, I do. It's right here. So what you'll do here is you will tie some string around here, tie it in a knot, and then this will be your policy closure, like so. So those are fun. Fun, easy, super cute. And then just pop those together and stick them off to the side to be used later. So, okay, definitely taking this little bit with me. Love it. Okay, so whale tail closures. Check mark, yes. That's going with us. Okay, I had a list. And you know what I did? I put it on my phone, which I'm using to video, so that is not at all helpful. Thinking the next thing that I had on my list of things to take with are from Chasing Paper, and I started just making some kind of supply, some bases. So Chasing Paper did this really cool, she called it, I think Mariah is her name. If that is incorrect, I am so very sorry. She made these cool wallet notebooks, and she used some faux leather paper that she made that was really cool. I want to do a little bit of a different spin on it and still do the wallet style notebook, but using the Tim Holtz backdrops. And the reason I wanted to go with these are so beautiful on front and back, and it's so sad sometimes when you have to cover up those backs. So what I did was I cut each backdrop in half. So we've got 2 3-inch pieces because they are 6 by 10. Cut them in half, and I thought, well, I'll do one with the one from each side of the paper. So then you're not losing anything. You get to play with both. So that's what we've got going on. And you know, if you decide you want this on the outside and you like this one better, well, hey, flip them around. No worries. We'll do whatever we want. Okay, so I cut a bunch of those. And I cut a bunch of strips approximately 3 inches wide. You can go narrower. I've got some, what do I got in here? This is just some old, not old, brochure paper I got a long time ago. I've got an old vet bill. This is a pretty interesting story. My husband's grandparents used to own a racehorse. So I've got some of their old documents. I've got vellum in here, plain white, coffee dye, book pages, a couple different kinds of book pages, color book pages, and scrapbook paper. So got a wide variety here. So what I'm going to do, I started folding some in half. I took some of these weekly time tickets that I got quite a while ago, cut them in half. They can be shorter, they can be narrower, and we can trim them down if they're too big. So I started folding, just folding them in half. For the coffee dyed paper, some of them had really, really cool edges, and I didn't want to lose that. So if you've got something that you don't want to lose, what you can do, because we're going to be trimming this paper. Oh, it's still a little long. I might need to cut it, trim it a little shorter. Oh, that's okay. That's close. What you can do is check out your length and then just fold it not at the center so that you can keep some of those edges. So I have not decided yet how many pages we want in each one, but so I just started at the top of my pile when I was doing folding. So I don't have a big variety yet. I've just got a lot of the same things folded. So let's grab some of these other types and see what we can come up with. We want some scrapbook paper in there as well. Whoa. See, this is what happens when I try to hurry. We'll have to figure out how many pages we want. So let's say we want one of those. I got a piece of vellum. We want one of these. Here's a plain piece. Let's pick a coffee dye. And let's see what we got going on here for width. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's fold this in half. Oh, that wasn't very straight. It might be a little easier if I can see what I'm doing here instead of trying to fold it on top of other paper. I'm not going in with the bone folder at this point because we don't know which pieces. It's going to be a little bit thick, right? So we don't know which pieces are going to go on the inside. So we don't know which ones need to be super tight versus ones that are going to need a little bit more space. All right, so, and this might even be too many, but let's give it a shot. I'm just going to start putting these together. I'm going to try to not overthink it, but we know how that goes, so that might not work very well. Did I already put a plain one? I don't think I did yet. I'm just gonna, some of these are, like I said, a little thinner than others. And that is okay. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, I forgot that guy. We'll go book page on the outside. And let's see if this is going to be a reasonable, I think we can manage that. I think that is perfectly fine for thickness. All right, I want to sew my signature together first before I start trimming. And I think, without getting too super thinky, I want this in the middle. And I want it right side up. So let's make sure that we're okay with how everything is going. It only takes us a couple minutes here to make sure that we are lined up how we want. Once you sew it, you're not changing it. So do you want some at the bottom? Do you want some towards the middle? Anything is fine. Okay, so this is, I do want to make sure they're not going outside. Make sure this is the, recheck that this is a good guide width. And it is. So let's make sure that we don't have anything outside this paper. Okay, let's grab a couple. Items here that will be able to hold our stuff in. Well, we could even just throw something as simple as a paper clip. Let's paper clip. We're tight in the center. Let's paper clip these guys together. All right, looking good. So let's go on. And this guy's only going to get 2, but I think that's okay. Pretty thick piece. And then once we get it sewn, we'll I should have put this behind it. That is okay. We got it through most. That'll help us from moving things around much, because now we've only got one more piece of paper that we need to go through, and it's thick, but make sure we're exactly where we want. Everything's looking good. Everything's lined up pretty well. All right, now, oh, there we moved it. Let's see. Okay. Yep, looking good there. And just want to make sure that I am falling right on the spine. And it is. It should, but you never know when something might scooch out of the way a little bit. So let me grab some thread and a needle, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're gonna go, oh, not that, we're gonna go with some green. And you want to be, when you're doing signature binding, you're going 2.5 times the height of your journal. I'm gonna go a little higher because it's pretty small. That's not a whole lot to work with, so I want a good tail here. Let's see if I can get this through super easy, or if I should use, oh, went right through. I did get some more needle threaders in my Temu order because I'm down to one. I broke one, and then I got all nervous. So I'm using a blunt end tapestry needle. Works really good for this, using the embroidery thread, but still being able to get through. Okay, so 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Out through the center, hold the tail. In through the top. Pull it relatively tight, but don't rip your paper. Out through the bottom. Back in through the middle. And when you're coming back in through the middle, whoops, don't do it that way. Okay, hold your tail. This is a little fumbly. I should have definitely had a bigger piece of thread. So what you want to do is you want to be on one on each side of that main one. Give it a little tug. Give this tail a little, well, it might help if I get these out of the way. They're stitched in, so we're good. We don't need to have those on hand anymore. Okay, now give it a little bit of a tug. And we're going to do a double knot. And I get it wrong every time. You're supposed to go right over left one of the times and left over right on the other, and I always get myself confused. Yeah, so anyway, there we go. We are bound in. So now our next step is going to be to trim. And one of the coolest things about this, which I had never seen before, is using this tag shape edge and having all your papers line up with the tag shaped edge. So I'll show you how she did it, and it was super slick. And it will work with whatever thickness that you want to use. So let's make space. Oh my God, you guys, my desk. I can't even set my stuff down flat. Okay, so here's what you do. You get it really tight. I'm gonna go ahead and use paper clips. They sit better than the big clips that I typically use. These guys, these sit better. And then you simply line this up, squash her down real hard, and trim it with your knife as many times as it takes to get all the way through. Well, don't move it like I just did. That was not smart. What do we got here? There we go. All right, now let's do the other side. Gotta move this one, because it will be in our way. Make sure we're still good and tight, and we are. I'm not pushing super hard on my knife because this is my first time, but you could just really go to town, I think. Let's see, how far do we get? Just pop them out of the way as we go. There we go. Now, all that's left is our edge. Let's not cut the end off. All right, see, quick and easy. Now, if you don't have a hole, if you're not super thick and you want to just use your scissors, you certainly can. This is a method that you can use if you've got something well beyond the thickness that you feel comfortable using your scissors on. I probably could have used my scissors, but that's a good technique. Let's get these out of the way. Of course, I'm throwing them in my scrap bin. We know I'll never use them, but I might, so let's keep them. All right, let's see what we ended up with. How cute. Little notebook. I'm not going to do a whole bunch of decorating on the inside because it's, oh, look. That's an interesting shape. All right. You know, if you have any that look a little long or you're not pleased with it, you can always trim that. You know, might be just a touch long on some of these front pieces when it's closed. So here's what I'll do. I'll just go in carefully with my scissors and trim those down just a little bit. No problem. Now to make it look finished, and then on the inside we've got this cool thing, nothing that needs to be done there. Now what I want to do, I want to try out this cool technique that I saw Margaret at 7 Plaza do, and that was using shank buttons. She used hers for some hidden paper clips, but I think they might look cool for this as well for our closure. Now what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to figure out a way on the back to make it not be in the way, if that makes sense. So we're gonna have to think about this for a minute, but I bought some buttons and then we're gonna play with them. So give me a second to think on this. Okay, I think I know what we're gonna try to do here with this. So I got a bunch of buttons. Now Hobby Lobby has this deal where any buttons up to $3.49 are 99 cents, and anything over $3.49 is $1.99. So I found some really pretty buttons that I thought that we could use for this stuff. Got lots of cool ones. Super excited to play with them. So let's pick a button that goes kind of nice with this. I'm thinking these might be good and a good size. So let's choose these. Nope, we're just gonna make a choice. We can make as many of these as we want. So we don't need to be we don't need to take a half an hour to decide. So let's pop one of these off. Now I could use this to hook it on and just tape over it, but I'm not 100% sure that that's what I would want to do. All right, so I'm gonna use the crocodile. I think the small hole, yeah, the small hole is gonna be too small for this. So let's put a hole far enough away to eyeball the center there. We're gonna go right there. It's far enough away, I hope. Yep, I think that will work. Okay, now before we get too far, I'm gonna ink the edges on the outside. I think it would look really cool to ink all the edges on the inside, but that can be done whenever. So let's just do the outside for the moment. I'm gonna use my scorched timber. And we'll do the back. Got kind of messy with this one, but you know what? That's okay. You could even see what we get here. Just hold it a little to the edge and see, little off center, and see what we get then. That works really good for inking the inside without having to do each individual one separately. So let's just do that while we're here. You can do it on each side, and then you're getting the front and the back. Yeah, no, not perfect, have to go in and do more. But we're kind of in a hurry this morning, so we're just going to go for it. All right, let's go ahead and pop our button in. It's pretty, a nice tight fit. And I think what we'll just do is tie her up with some string. Now, we could use this string then. I'm going to cut it on the edge, but not, or put her through. This might be a job for our crochet hook, but we're going to try to see if we can get it without. Okay, so I'm just going to tie this in a double knot. Fumbly fingers this morning. Tie it in a double knot. In a double knot. And you know, we might need to put something on top of this to keep it from coming out, because that's not a thick knot. I think what I want to do here is put a circle on the back. Can we do that here and kind of line it up? It's a little more fumbly than I expected. So we don't want it to come out all the way out. All right, let's get a circle. I'm gonna go with a bigger one here. Let's just pick, what are we gonna pick? That's plain and boring. We don't want that. That's too small. Oh, come on. There's got to be, I have got to have something thick-ish. Here, this will work. We'll even pick something kind of pretty. There we go. We're experimenting here, guys. I'm hoping that this will work well. I'm going to give it a shot. I was thinking we could use this perhaps as a closure, but that might be a little fumbly as well. We can always add, can always stick more. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this. Lordy, that's too big. I wonder if we can use a couple of things of ink here to give us the space we need. Can I weigh that down? Let's hold that there. I'm going to use our 3-in-1 because it's more goopy. Let's get it down there. See how much glue. I know you can't at all see what I'm doing. So I'm putting a big old wad of glue there. And I'm going to use this to gently press it down. So we want it sticking out the front. But not coming off. All right, we got glue seeping out the front, which is completely fine. I'll hold that for a second. Hopefully this works okay. We can add more glue around the edges with our art glitter. might not have even needed to weigh it down. I could have used my fingers, but we'll do that now. Okay, we're gonna let that dry all the way. I think that's super cute, and I think that will be fine. I think that's going to be sturdy enough. We've got enough glue in there. You know, and if you have a slightly smaller shanked button, that works too. And we'll go around here. We'll trim that or tuck it under. I don't want to... There, got that. And let's grab this. I'm gonna load it up with glue here so that we can get it all the way to the edge. Whoa, oh, that was a little ridiculous, guys. A little bit. Let's tuck that back in. A little messy. It'll dry clear, so that'll be okay. Pop that in, and we'll let that dry. But I think that will work just fine. And then for the closure itself, I forgot to get some thin elastic when I was at the craft store. But what I'm thinking for the closure is that on the back here we could put an eyelet, and when we attach it in we can do some we can put some elastic when we're crimping so it sticks, and then you can have a little elastic piece that comes over the front. So that's my plan. Now we can't finish it completely, but that is the thought and the plan. And then you can decorate the front. You could do stickers, die cuts, stamping, stenciling, any number of things to decorate. But that is essentially what we've got there for our little, she calls it a wallet notebook, wallet notebook, tag notebook, whatever you want to call it. But that is our second mass make project that I'm going to take with me this weekend. So let me close this glue up and let's move on to a third option. Make space. Lord Almighty, is there a lot of joke? Okay. Set this off to the side. Let me get some of this stuff out of the way so I don't lose it. Okay. So the third idea that we're going to go with is from Margaret at 7 Plaza. And she's doing Mass Make March. Definitely check out her channel because she's got amazing ideas, as always. The brilliant Margaret. So what I did, you'll need, well, it doesn't have to be double-sided. I'm using double-sided paper. She uses index cards and then grudges them up. They're amazing. They're beautiful. I've got this double-sided paper. It's a pattern I don't really ever use. So I have cut it down to 4-inch strips, and I'm not exactly sure how wide I want it, so I left it full. And what this is it's a pocket with a window and a little tuck spot. So the first thing that we need to do is decide what we want our window to look like. And I'm thinking that a square window would look pretty cool in contrast to this very round and flowing pattern. So I'm gonna grab my thrift store find here. And I'm going to make a window, a square window. Well, or am I? Well, this is going to be too close to the edge. All right, well, that's not helpful. I guess we're going to have a circle window. Can I get it farther in here? No, guys. This paper's too thick to do that with. She uses a die cut and runs it through her machine to get her window. All right, well, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a window towards the top. That's what we're gonna do. And we are going to use the square. And sometimes you just figure it out as you go. That window's going to be really close to the edge, but I think we're going to just be okay with it. So let's punch our square. All right. High window. Keep that for whatever we decide to use it for. And I think we want this to be, let's end up with a square pocket. So 4 by 4. I know it's not exactly 4. Oh yeah, it's pretty close. So let's go with a 4 by 4 pocket, and we will have our little tuck spot will be about 1 inch. So let's use our scoreboard here to help us out. So we want a 4-inch pocket with a 1-inch fold. All right, so there we've got that. Use a paper trimmer. I'm just going to use my scissors because I'm sitting here. And I'm going to cut this easier, a little easier to see on this side. Cut that. That might have been a mistake to use my scissors. I can't see it very well. Let's see how wonky that ends up, and then we can trim it more if we need to. Not terrible. That's not too terrible. Okay. So let's ink that up. What do we want to use? Let's go with vintage photo this time. And oh no, I didn't put my, there. I didn't put my foam. Oh, it looks like I've got a couple of scorched timber foams going on over there. That's okay. I learned you can wash these. That's kind of crazy. You can wash them with water and then use them for different colors. Didn't know that. Let's ink up the edges. Look at, just love inking. It just makes it look very pretty, I think, personally. All right, now I want to get our little square as well, being gentle. Get more ink so I don't have to be too, there. All right, so now you can round corners, you can leave them square, and how you can use this, let me grab our little book here. So how you could use this is you can stick it into a journal like this. You can glue it so you have a pocket, and then you can stick stuff in like that. You can tuck something in here. Maybe you can see that better. Not really. Our whale tail. You can tuck stuff in like that, and it's just a nice, different kind of pocket. So that's how you can use it. So I'm going to go ahead and just glue our flap here. Making sure that we're nice and straight, and we are. Glue on my desk. And then we can decorate. Let's see what we want to use to decorate. We'll get one done. Definitely, let's pick a label. I don't know why that's in there. I need to move that somewhere else. What do we got for fun labels? She's pretty. That might be nice. That could be cool. What other ones do we got? We got numbers. That's cool. The tiny tickets that I love so much. There's that. There's some options there. Close that up. And we could also, what about a flower sticker? Let's go, how about a flower? Let's get some of these. I really need to find places to use these really cool. The cats and the bugs. I need to use those more. Let's see what we've got here for pretty flowers. That would look nice. Let's go with this. And do we have something tall and skinny in here that might fit nice on our, how about that? Just a little something. That would be really pretty. Oh, how gorgeous. Look at that. So delicate. Love it. All right, so let's decorate this guy up. And perhaps, come on, come loose. Don't, not today, sticker. Got it. Okay. Of course, I grabbed it at a super weird angle, but that's okay because we don't demand perfection. We don't demand it, and we don't even expect it. I don't have any little tiny scissors. Will that tuck? That might be just fine. Okay, now let's ink up our little labels here and see what kind of cute little collage we can do. I mean, you can make these as simple or intricate as you would like. I don't think we need 4 labels. Of course, can you really ever have enough? Y'all know these are my favorite little things, these little bitty ones. Let's start with this. And let's put this guy down. How about right there? I like the brown. I think this is probably stamped with a vintage photo. Let's put her on. How about right there? And then where do we want our little ticket? I think this little ticket would look awful cute right there. So let me fumble with my fingers. And stick this guy right here. Now, I do think that we definitely need, get our stickers out of our way. We definitely need a number or two. What do I have close at hand that might be a decent number addition? Well, this is right here, so we're gonna use this. Oh, I think I want black. Let's go black to pull in. We don't have a lot of black, but let's go black to pull this here in. All right, there we go. Lovely. And we need another smallish one. Now let's see if I can find one. Because of the state of my desk, which is, as I've mentioned, ridiculous. Let's see if I can find a small number somewhere close. I've got piles of stamps all over the place. Here, let's grab these. Smaller number. How about if I pull it like this so I can see? This guy will be just fine. Goofball. All right, number 509, and we're just gonna stick it right there. All right. I think we can call that complete. Let's put this back on. All right. So, I think that this is a pretty good pile of things to take with myself on my little trip out of town. I just saw the whale tail. Where did it slide off to? Oh, for the love. Where'd our little closure go? All right, I gotta find that one sec. Okay, success, found it. All right, so here's our 3 little mass make projects. We've got our whale tail policy closures, Tracy Fox idea. We've got our little notebooks, notepads from Mariah. And we've got our little interesting double pockets with a window from the lovely Margaret at 7 Plaza. So I'll link those channels below, or put I'll put the information below in the description, and I will see you guys when I get back in town after a nice long weekend. Hope you enjoy your weekend as well. And hey, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. And I will see you all next time. Bye.